Hello, I'm Holly of Holly Anna Calligraphy, and today I'm going to be teaching you how to connect letters so that your handwriting looks more like calligraphy rather than cursive. I'll be using this Speedball pen holder with a Niko G Nib, and then I'll also show you as well with a Pentel Touch brush pen so that you can use whatever tools you have at home. Even if you have a pencil or a regular ballpoint pen, you can also practice connecting your letters. There's 3 rules that I want you to remember when you are connecting these letters. The first one is this exit stroke. So the first thing I want you to do is practice this exit stroke. This may look simple, but it is key to connecting your letters, because what this exit stroke is going to do, it's going to allow space in your letters. So instead of cursive being really short and close together, this exit stroke will allow your letters to have some room to breathe. The next thing is that you need those spaces between the letters. You can tell right here how much space I have. It's a lot. And it's going to be different than how your handwriting is normally. The third thing you need to know is that each letter is going to be connecting at the top of the following letter. So see how this G connects all the way up to the top of that R in Grace, and then the R is connecting all the way to the top of the A. So I'm going to demonstrate right now how you're going to do it. With this practice sheet, you can find it at hollyanacalligraphy.com, and you can click on the freebies link and it'll take you there. I really love using this Rhodia pad. It's a really nice pad, and it also, you can slide, after you print and download this freebie, you can slide it underneath this pad here of paper, and you'll be able to trace it a little bit. You'll be able to see through it. So we're gonna start with this pen holder and nib, and I have some Sumi ink here, and we're going to dip the ink in, and then we're going to practice that exit stroke first. So it's you apply pressure for the thick strokes, and then you go thin for the up strokes or the ascending strokes. And this exit stroke, like I said, is key, so I want you to practice. So I'll have you trace these right here first, and you can also do it with a brush pen or any other tool you have. And then I want you to practice a few more on down the line. I'll switch over to this brush pen so you can also see. The key with this is muscle memory. So it's remembering how to get the thick stroke on the downstroke, and then the thin stroke on the upstroke. So it's just applying pressure, and then you really want to get this exit stroke all the way up to the top. If it's not getting all the way up to the top, if you're leaving it down here, you're not going to have enough space. So what you would do next is start your letter here, and then it's going to be too close. So that's why we want to get it all the way up, and then you can have your room to start any other letter that you're gonna connect to. So see the difference, how little space you have here versus how much more space you have here. Okay, so with Grace, I'm gonna pull this out so you can see it a little bit easier. With Grace, I have it all outlined for you. So here I have it spaced out so you can see where I end each exit stroke. So you can start by tracing it first. Thick downstroke and all the way around. It's okay if you don't get it right the first time. And that's where you're gonna pick up right here. And then this R all the way up to the A. Then you start your A all the way up to your C. C all the way up, and then E is kind of tricky. E has a little, you know how there are always exceptions to every rule. So when you're going to do E's, you want it to flow really nicely. So because the E is actually called an ascending loop, after you get to your E, it's not gonna quite come all the way up to the top. What I do is I just end my C, and then I start my E right there and cover up so that it looks like it's connected. You can do it this way where you're gonna connect at the top, but it doesn't quite look as connected. I'm gonna go kind of fast so you can see. So if I stopped there and then connected it at the top, you can see how it's not quite connected inside there, which is totally fine. So it's just up to you whether you like this preference or this preference. No big deal. Don't overthink it. just try to get that space between the letters and connecting it mostly at the top. See how right here it's not quite at the top, but that's really good enough. Okay, so I have here for you to see where I pick up my pen, spaced out, and then here where you can connect it all. So I'm gonna switch over back to my pointed pen and do hello underneath here. And again, if you don't have this pad of paper, that's fine. Right here with hello, because it's an H, I like to just do one downstroke thick, because then it gives a little more delicacy to the lines, and it doesn't look like a huge thick letter. So that's why even though I went down, I didn't press as hard. Okay, and then we're gonna start with the E, and then L, stop up at the top right here. So L is the other exception because it's an ascending loop. You're not gonna be able to connect it at the very top. That would kind of look silly. So we connect it right in the middle, right where this line is. Hopefully you can see that, this line right there. I want you to get your exit strokes up to that line. So same thing here. You can try it one more time. Connect up to the line, up to the line. See if I have enough ink to do now. Yep. So see how each exit stroke is coming up in hello, and there's hello. Okay, the other one is welcome. So I'm just gonna do this side where it's all connected. So the other thing that you can notice about this practice sheet is that I really love to keep the W in the, or the first letter, if it's capital, right in the middle, because then it really balances everything out. Some people really like to keep everything on a straight line, but my style is a little more flowy, a little more organic, I guess would be the hot word of today. But mostly it just means that I can bounce my letters up and down and it will still look in a straight line. The key is starting with a good big letter, capital letter, in the middle of where your the rest of your letters will be your lowercase. So we're gonna start with welcome. So we're gonna start with a capital W. Into the E. So right here, remember our E is just gonna be a little bit connecting kind of in the middle or upper third. The L is connecting in the middle. C connects at the top. We're gonna get that exit stroke up to the O. Then just across with the O to the M. And every time I want you to pick up your hand and move it across to the E again. And then just end with like a kind of fun flourish up. And there's welcome. And then the last one we're gonna do is connecting. I'm just gonna get a new page really quickly. You can turn it to the side since it's at the bottom. Okay, so connecting. We're gonna start with the C kind of in the middle of that line of our guidelines. Get that C all the way up to the O, the top of the O. O just comes across, loops and comes across to the top of that line again. N, top of the line, N, E, C, bring it up. T is the same way as an L. You're gonna connect it still at the top. And see how it's just that same exit stroke we practiced in the beginning. You're just coming up at a diagonal so that you can connect and breathe a lot more space into your lettering. After you practice these letters on this guide sheet, the second sheet that comes with the freebie has your guidelines set out for you so that you know where to put your uppercase first letter and then the rest of the body of your letters. So this is time for you to take whatever words you want to try to connect and connecting those together. So I'm going to switch back over to the brush pen because you can just do this right on the paper that you print with. Or you can do it on the rodeo pad. So since we already did connecting on the last one, let's do the word love. So we're gonna start here and we're gonna start with a big L. We'll just do lowercase for now. And remember, we're gonna get that exit stroke all the way up. So it doesn't matter if it doesn't perfectly fit in the box. As long as you're getting your exit stroke up here, it's gonna be balanced. So then we're gonna come down and do the O. And remember, we just come across and make sure that that line lands on this line at the top. V. And the same with V. You can either loop it around or just come straight across. L-O-V-E. And then the E, remember, is our tricky one that it doesn't quite connect. It can connect at the top like this, or it can connect more in the center so that it doesn't, so that it looks a little more natural, like that. So you can practice using names, you can practice using phrases that you want to create. So if we wanted to create a get well soon card, we could do that. I'm gonna start with a big G. If you wanted to practice a get well soon card, or a thank you card, we can practice all of that here. Get well or thank you. We could do thank you too. Not all of your capitals have to connect with one another. Sometimes they just can't. And don't worry if your letters aren't perfect. That's the beauty of hand lettering. We love imperfections because that's what makes it unique. That's what makes your handwriting unique to you. And that's why people love it, because you've taken the time to make them a beautiful piece. So I hope this totally helps you figure out how to connect your letters well. It takes practice, but you can do it. And I would love to connect with you on Instagram at Hollyanna Calligraphy, or even in my newsletter to receive freebies every month. Enjoy!